Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth TTRPG that will finally answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? We are one step closer to answering that question. Around me are my internet friends. Say hi, internet friends, for those of you that are not muted.
Hi, internet friends.
Hello, everyone. I'm your humble lore master, Don Marshall. Around me are Tori Fox, Max Randolph, Charlotte A. Kavatica / Moore Lambert, and Zach Smith. I got all of your names right this time, thank goodness. We would like to get started as quickly as possible. And first thing we need to do is thank our sponsors. So special thanks to Free League Publishing, who have graciously sent us their TTRPG, The One Ring, so we could play in a more fleshed out version of Middle-earth. You can go to freeleaguepublishing.com to get yours today. You can also go to therookandtheraven.com to get your amazing note-taking books for all of your TTRPG notes. Tori, once again, being the only one that has it, because we've all, well, I mean, again, my wife has mine, so I can only speak for myself. Reminder, we will potentially have Zach has you. Okay, thank you, Zach. Thank you. All right. Depending on how long this session goes, we may have a 5-minute break at the 1 hour mark. Make sure you are aware of that. A special thanks to Sarah M. Shunky, who goes by @SarahM.Shunky on Instagram, does all of our phenomenal artwork. The battle maps are done by Littlewhit the Cartographer. You can find his services on Facebook. Just search Littlewhit the Cartographer. The music has been crafted by Cullen Vance. You can stream all of his music on Spotify, Bandcamp, and iTunes. And also cullenvancecreative.com, which is his website where you can buy the music directly from him and make his wallet very happy. And in this world of corporate capitalism, it is always nice to support the little guys. Not that you are little, Cullen, but compared to someone like Taylor Swift, from whom all morning Ticketmaster, those out of luck people come, we are here. Without further ado, sorry, for those of you that are, as we release this episode, as we are filming this episode, Taylor Swift tickets came out yesterday, 2 days ago. A bunch of people are very sad because they didn't get their tickets. Okay. Is everybody ready to go?
Woo!
Let's
Yes,
go. Let's go. When we last left off, a question was asked by the dwarf Beery to the creature Gollum. Will you join us and act as our guide as we travel to Mordor, with a few stops along the way? Despite perhaps Tauriel's best efforts and my own as the lore master, he succeeded in convincing Gollum that he was a friend, much to the delight of the elf Tanel, who put him up to it, and much to the displeasure of both Zach and probably also Halloweth as well. Zach, who didn't have a lot of lines last week, I very consciously remember editing this episode and remembering that, Zach, your first lines are, "Oh, fuck me, no." So thank you for that.
That really tracks. I feel that's my line, like my first lines every day.
I've woken up again in this
I've woken up.
mood, this body.
No. Yeah, no, that's usually my lines for any first lines. That's usually it.
Oh, goodness.
Relatable.
Yeah. All right. However, we will now pick things up the next day as the group prepares to leave. Preparations have been made, things have been done, and I will ask, unless there is anything you all specifically want to do, we will carry on with the journey south. So, Tauriel, anything specifically you would like to say to the group? Anything you would like to do with Gollum? Any last-minute preparations that you want to role play rather than just say, "I'll do this," and then we move on?
I think Tauriel has already done what she's going to do with Gollum, which is make him Beery's problem.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Beery. Before we get to Beery, Tanel, Halloweth, anything you would like to do?
Actually, and we can just be real quick. Tanel's going to try to figure out how to reinforce our little raft that we might still be taking. Are we taking the raft or is it all?
So you could theoretically grab the raft and just wrench apart the other stuff because you're traveling with an army of about 2,000 elves that are
fun.
remaining.
Okay,
So yeah. So
You're so
Yeah.
awesome.
And they're all going on the raft.
All right, let's go. Like a clown car.
Yeah.
All right,
exactly.
then I will then try to salvage anything from the raft, like for our cart. And
you can still
that.
like disassemble the
Mhm.
cart from the raft. You built around
okay,
it. The way that
perfect.
that Max described
Yeah.
it to me, I imagine you can just get rid of everything else, but
Mhm.
keep the cart as it was.
That
Yeah,
is-
put
wheels.
the wheels back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. That's all
you know
I'll
what?
be doing then.
There's enough elves. I don't think I'll make you roll for this. You can with Beery's help, you can probably get the cart back. I'd say no problem. There's enough
Excellent.
help going
Is
on.
this
around.
cart integrated into the raft?
It was.
Yeah,
Some way?
it's a terrible raft, but it was. I imagine it being the supporting structure of the raft, and
Mhm.
once it is even slightly broken apart, everything just fizzles out and floats down the river.
Pretty much.
It was
Reason-
definitely the keystone.
Is there a reason why you guys weren't calling this vessel the craft? Because you could have
Well-
done that.
We're dumb, Charlotte. What are you?
Duh.
The frustration hit before we could think of a name for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rest in
That-
peace.
that's it.
Rest in pieces. The craft.
The craft.
it was
Oh
only
my
there for like
God.
2 days. Okay. So
Rart would have been good too, I guess. But
Tanel, the
Yes.
raft disassembled, the cart put back together, ready to go, gorges hooked up. Tariel, around mid-morning, as the sun comes up through the trees, you hear the sound of an elven horn. And about 10 seconds later, one of your guards calls from outside your tent flap, Captain Tariel. Many of Lord Thranduil's forces are here to join our own.
oh.
He sent a letter. There is a captain of his as well.
What was this dance over here? I shall speak with him immediately.
She is just outside. And as you exit the tent, you see a very tall, strapping elf woman with long brown hair come forward. Captain Toriel. And I would say any of the three of the party members who are out and about would notice, on top of this huge army, that you would recognize this elven woman as Rovandir, one of the commandos and personal bodyguards to Thranduil that you met while in the kingdom of Mirkwood. She steps forward with a letter. I bring news from Thranduil, king of Mirkwood. You've been promoted, and hands you a letter.
Thank you. I open the letter, furrow my brow. What does this letter say?
Would you like me to show you, and would you like to hear it personally?
I sure would.
Okay, let me
Uh-huh.
share my screen. Unfortunately, Chris could not be here with us to make a small cameo, but here we go.
Tauriel, the three carrying this message can confirm the death of Legolas, my son, your friend and prince. Amidst Fuinglad's collective grief, Legolas' bold words once spoken in anger return to haunt me. True loyalty does not placate, but pierces through the conspiracy of silence like a well-aimed arrow. You are insubordinate, infuriating, and the past century you have been the arrow Legolas spoke of, piercing every vital flaw with painful acumen. Pride has prevented me from appreciating your role in my ranks. The elven rings are destroyed. Isolation has served us well. I was not wrong. But neither were you. I have heeded your advice and sent missives to Dale, Esgaroth, and Erebor to unite the free peoples here and defend the northern front. The other half of our forces I leave in your capable hands. Provide Halloweth, Tinel, and Biri with aid to whatever extent you deem wise. I trust you. And if you want more than that of me, you can spar me for it when next we meet. Don't hold back, Commander. Thranduil.
How about that?
I love this game.
Charlotte,
Oh, that's so
Zach,
pure.
Max, Tori, check your phones.
Oh, I did.
What?
Oh, I
Because
saw.
not only did Chris record this audio, and I'll have it up on screen
Of course
now.
they did this.
Chris also wrote the entire letter
Yes.
in Elvish on parchment.
Yes.
You?
Because they're deranged.
Aren't we all? In a way?
Yes. Oh
This is
my
lovely.
God.
I'm gonna cry.
I know.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh
It's
my
beautiful.
God.
This is beautiful.
Holy shit.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So
My
Chris,
God.
as you watch this in the YouTube live stream, thank you. Seriously.
Oh,
What?
They even did the
What?
thing that we all did in middle school with our projects. We like burn the edges off
Yes.
the parchment.
I just wait.
Really
So
sell it.
Okay,
Oh
go.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God, that's
commitment
incredible.
to the role.
Oh, this
The
is
commi-
oh,
oh,
Max
oh.
has some
I
burnt
literally
edge
just got
paper.
done doing a map
Yep.
for my D&D group.
It's amazing.
That's wonderful.
We gotta
Oh,
talk about the
That's
care
where the
for maps.
verisimilitude comes from.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Brilliant
Okay,
stuff.
sorry.
All right. No,
Confusing.
are we Chris, thank you. Seriously, that was
Chris!
wonderful. With you having read the letter, you look down at the parchment, and Tariel, what are you feeling right now?
I don't know that I should convey what I'm feeling. I don't know that you would be able to read what I'm feeling.
If you would rather it remain private, that is
No,
totally fine as well.
I mean, I think it's fair to deduce that Tariel is, first of all, she's reading the letter silently. So I don't
Right.
know that anybody else knows even what it says.
A smile from Ravandir gives you the impression she knows.
Okay. So as she goes, every once in a while, like she's got a good poker face, but at near the very end, when the party's names come up, her eyes sort of flick up from the parchment and to them, and then back, and then up to Ravandir, like, this wasn't like a, okay. And then finishes, fold it back up, processes for a moment, and says, I thank you, Ravandir. Where are you going next?
Commander Tariel, behind me stand the 2,000 that you sent away on the road, back in your care, as well as the king's 5,000. A small commando force is staying with him, but our reunited forces are now 9,000 strong, and they are yours to do with what you will. We have extra food and supplies for the refugees in Lothlorien, as well as the means to build a bridge to cross the river into Fangorn. I hear you have a dwarf with you. He may prove useful.
It was our intention to set out for Rohan at once. As you can see, we're already in the process of decamping. What are the other three? Where are the other three right now? Where are the party members?
You guys just kind of hanging out, getting ready to go, packing up, and
Pretty
Pretty
much.
much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably putting the wheels back on the cart.
Yeah. I got frustrated and called Beery over at a certain point.
So nearby, I'd say, if you'd like
yes.
to summon them.
Teriel sort of sidles up to Ravandir and says, my guests, have you had dealings with them?
Yes.
I love this image of the three, just them looking at us and the three of us trying to put on one cartwheel. Like, no, just a bit higher. No, just if you just twist it this way. No, if you, I was doing it first.
Higher.
Higher. No, not the wheel, the cart. Yeah.
Do you not
How many hours
think
does it take to put on a wheel?
while this is, go ahead, just keep up with that.
Yeah,
But-
pantomiming all the way through.
Do you not think it's strange that the king placed such trust in ones such as these? They've brought me only trouble and dissension since they arrived.
It was as with us, the same way in the beginning, and yet the king's interests lie with them, it would seem.
Know you why?
Indeed, no.
The king keeps his own counsels as always, it seems.
So it would seem. We are ready for the road, Commander.
We are bound for Rohan. I don't know that we need all 9,000. And she sort of trips over that, like 9,000, what had 9,000? There's time surely to rework our plans. And then she sort of like motions to one of her lieutenants and gives orders to go get those three, go get them, bring them over here.
Bringing them over. Go ahead.
Yep.
Okay. You three rounded up.
So the commander's tent has been struck. Everything's been struck. Everything's
You're
loaded
ready
up,
to go.
But there's still like a little tree stumpy looking table kind of thing where she's started to gather important personages. And she regards the three of you for a long moment and says, "It seems our plans have changed. I don't know what words or exchange you had with the king, but as you can see, he's sent a great force on your behalf. As you seem to be personages of such import, you tell me, what would you have me do with these new forces?"
Well, I believe some should go to Lorien to make sure that they're well, and their numbers are small. There's only 200, I believe. So they could use some numbers there. There is another group, the Rangers of the North, that went to Gondor. Perhaps you could send some that way to update on at least what goes on north there. We don't know where the rest of the armies of Gwaihir are heading, but I feel like the further south we move, the more we'll run into them.
Charlotte, if I may, we haven't given a name to your lieutenant yet, but I think that lieutenant would just chime in for a moment and say, Lady Tario, we cannot hope to defeat the forces of the Rohirrim if they are indeed controlled by one who supports the enemy. A swift passage to Gondor may be in our best interest, with a small force heading towards Lorien to ensure the safe passage of our kin.
There are some who wish to travel west, and that may split the numbers even further.
So we cannot rely on any strength of arms, you say?
Almost none.
None.
I also fear that a great force will not aid us in taking Rohan at unawares.
It
They'll
may
see
be that
us
we
coming.
It may be that we do not need a large force in unawares. We know not the dealings of men.
I would say a small task force rather than trying to take the Rohirrim. We do not, despite the Rohirrim's current allegiance, we do not want to obliterate them.
Do you know where their allegiance lies, Halloweth?
As of our current understanding, it is with a one Grima Wormtongue.
And what do you know of this Grima Wormtongue?
Very little. He is human. He slithers between those of great power with whom he believes can help him, though he possesses none himself.
Then perhaps our power may be able to, and looks very pointedly at you, Tariel, persuade him in a
That's
more
kind of-
diplomatic.
That's more what I'm going for. Either a persuasion of diplomacy or, and he kind of shifts a little uneasily, assassination.
I would
I
be
know the
greatly
Rohan's
interested to
loyalty.
know how one may sway the mind of one named Wormtongue.
I doubt that is his real name, Commander Tariel, however.
It's not so much persuading Grima Wormtongue, but the lords and council around him to overthrow him,
Winning the hearts and minds of the Rohirrim. Yes, Alowith?
essentially.
We are also going in a bit blind to what Rohan holds for us. We know a bit more of Gondor. We know that there are forces heading there anyways. We have not heard much or know of much dealings with Rohan.
And an army of 9,000 may not be the best diplomatic solution. We do not
Well,
want war on two
They
fronts.
will also know that many are coming.
Indeed.
Open warfare with the Rohirrim would merely be fighting amongst ourselves. We need them for the final push.
I agree.
Lady Tariel, if I may, I suggest we move south. At the very least, we reach the edge of Mirkwood. That way we are at least parallel to Lothlorien. We can send a small force there. It will take us perhaps 2 more days.
And you, dwarf.
He's been just kind of like whispering to Gollum, like, hey, everything's okay. Oh, aye.
You've been strangely quiet for one who usually has so much to say. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, this isn't really mine. I don't know much of the world, you see.
That's never stopped you before, in my experience.
Sorry.
People are one thing. People are one thing, but the surface and its places, all of its places, nah, it's not my place. I'm here for adventure, and I'm here when I'm needed.
Well, adventure is upon you, and you are strangely needed.
Well, it's not actually that strange if you really think about it.
Very well, we go south.
South it is then.
Now, how many are gonna go to the Lorien Elves?
So as of right now, that has not yet been decided. We will
Right.
get to the edge of, basically we'll get to the edge of Mirkwood, come out of the forest into the plains, and then go from there. All right.
Perfect.
Now, typically when we do rolls for long parts of the journey, Charlotte, I've had them make scan checks and awareness checks and travel checks and all of that. This is an army of 9,000. There is very little that is going to be able to directly confront you, at least within the forests of Mirkwood.
Right.
And you would have, scouts sent out so you would know well ahead if there was any force coming to meet you head on.
Yeah.
So I will say, for the purposes of expediency and also role playing for the next 2 days, we don't need to do every single moment. We will say that you spend the next 2 days trying to get through Mirkwood. Do me a favor though, because I want to see how long it will take you. Roll me a D12. On a 7 or higher, you'll have to add an extra day of travel. And on a 7 or higher, it'll take you the better part of 2 days. On a 6 or lower, it will take you an extra day. So you will reach by the end of the 3rd day.
Come on, Charlotte.
7.
7, exactly. All right. The trip through the rest of Mirkwood is surprisingly smooth. Now, Charlotte, Tariel, you would know that there are still plenty of wild beasts that may be servants of Gwaihir or heeding his call. The time of the beast is upon us, right? They're interested in that sort of thing, but they're not about to attack 9,000 elves and 1 dwarf. 9,002 elves and 1 dwarf. So the trip passes with relative ease. Beery, I would like you to please make me I'm trying to see how many times Gollum may try and strangle you in your sleep. So go ahead.
I was wondering. I was
Is this-
thinking
Yeah,
about
Is this
that.
between a 1 and 12?
You know,
Bring it.
I'm gonna have you make persuasion checks, and this will be like a friendship check. However, it is going to be a fairly contested role because keep in mind, Smeagol, Gollum, there is a dichotomy there, and he's going to be wrestling with it. And your roles are kind of going to determine how that relationship goes. If you continue to have good role play moments with him throughout the campaign, things may potentially get easier as we go. But for
Okay.
now, I'll ask you to make a persuasion check and tell me you're rolling 1d12 and how many d6s?
Don't worry about it. Or do you want to know?
No, you just roll your number and then I'll roll mine.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
19.
19. Okay. Twelve, 16, and a Gandalf. Okay, so Beery, the first night, you having sort of tied yourself to this creature, notice that he is desperately still in pain and gnawing on the rope around his arms, and very quickly you grab it and it's almost done. He almost got loose. On the second day, that's a Gandalf, so I'll give it to him. You awaken to him standing over you and almost trying to strangle you, but you wake up enough that he quick slinks back into his sort of sleeping position and pretends like nothing happens. But for a majority of the trip, he remains absolutely silent. Like clearly he has made his lot and is like, all right, I'm here. It's very nice, precious. Just bear with the flow.
Is there ever a time, does he ever look cold? Because he's got that like crappy little loincloth on, doesn't he?
He doesn't look cold ever to you. No, Mirkwood's pretty dark for the most part. Like there's not as much sunlight as in the open, but no, I don't say he'd feel too much of the cold. Tariel, as we reach the end of the second day of travel, I would like you to please make me an awareness check.
Hang on just a sec.
Take your time.
Bring up a little sheet because I still don't know what all of my things are.
I can tell you if you want. I have your character sheet.
Well, that's no fun. It doesn't help me remember. Okay, here we go.
Mhm.
You have 3? Oh my God.
Well, no, I mean, because I've got it's the D12 and then
The D12 and the 2.
2 6s, right? Right.
Yeah.
What is that? It's just 13.
13.
That's my target number.
Sure. So about 100 yards in front of you, you see an elf coming through the forest, and you know you're relatively close to the southern edge of Mirkwood. It's one of your scouts. And the scout comes up to you and says, Lady Toriel, halt all of our forces immediately. There is an army of orcs approaching the forest. Some of our scouts may have been spotted. I may have been one of them. I'm sorry. But they will reach the wood by tomorrow evening.
That doesn't give us very much time.
No, but we have a larger force than them. We could craft a battle plan, perhaps, and the lieutenant that comes up to you, we don't have a name for him, so we'll call him Filreth. Filreth. That's one of mine.
Filreth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a list of hevarious random elven
He's like
names.
he's like Phil, but it's
with a
Phil.
reth.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But a
Filreth.
ref. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
What's up, Phil?
Lady Tariel. So this lieutenant comes up and says, how many? And the scout looks very pointedly at you, Tariel, and then the rest of the army and goes, perhaps 5,000 to 7,000.
Yes.
Let's go, Cullen.
The lieutenant Filreth comes up to you and says, Commander,
Philareth,
we know these woods better than they do. If they come to destroy our home, let us first destroy them.
we camp here for the night. Gather the other lieutenants. We must have a council.
At once. Okay, so last episode I mentioned a mechanic. We have the potential to have this war play mechanic be put in play. Charlotte, it is up to you, though.
Yes.
Because in the evening, as this council gathers, all of the lieutenants around you inform you that to try and avoid this army is more or less impossible.
Where specifically, where are we?
You are at the southernmost and also, let's call it westernmost slope. It's kind of like a peninsula within the forest. You passed Goldul Gorge, but you gave it a wide berth, and you're closer to Lorien and the Anduin River towards the end of the forest in the south. As you are sort of getting your wits about you, Lieutenant Philareth says, "My lady, we have the
Philareth.
element of we have the element of surprise in the forest, if I may.
You may.
Taking them head on in the plains outside the forest would be foolish. We know these forests and they do not. We divide our forces into three. Some in the trees, some to meet them within the forest, and others to flank. We have superior numbers, and we can make our losses minimal if we take them by surprise, but it must be swift, and it must be at night. They may suspect our forces are here. If we do not show ourselves, there is the potential we could succeed with minimal losses."
Do the orcs not have a tactical advantage at night?
This is Dawn, not in this game. No,
Why?
Ooh.
they're just orcs right now. There's no nighttime advantages or special bonuses that they get to any of their fighting.
Right.
That's
But
cool.
don't they shun the sun? Like, wouldn't we have the advantage in daylight?
They're marching in the daylight.
Mm,
Doesn't mean they like it.
sure.
You're quite right. It doesn't mean they like it. We may wait till morning, but as they march, we may not have the opportunity to pick and choose our times.
And yet we are less maneuverable in the forest, are we not?
Yes, but we also may have the element of surprise here. If we divide our forces into three, the trees, the road, and the flank, we may be able to take them both head on and from the trees.
Are
Tario
we-
considers the map. Yes.
I was gonna say, are we all in this war room?
Yes, you're in the war
yeah.
room. You've
Cool, great.
ingratiated yourselves enough that unfortunately you will always be in the war room.
Well, then,
Yeah.
quite like how that happens. Nell goes, "Well, what?" and then just stops herself.
Tanel, something on your mind?
If some want to be in the forest, perhaps we could lay traps of some kind. They would be rudimentary, but I have, and I look at Beery, say, I've seen them work before with just simple rope. It might be enough to deter them, confuse them, and then we would have the element of surprise even further.
What traps have you contrived that can deter a force of thousands?
Not of
Well-
thousands, but perhaps a few walking in between two trees. Beery?
I mean, I feel like I need to see the terrain. I need the canvas to inspire me. But
Beery, we've been in the
Don't be loud,
forest for
Dorothy.
2.5 days. Extrapolate based on your imagination how you may lay a trap between any two trees.
I mean, there's several ways. I mean, rocks are great because you can have a counterweight and it can have it sprung, and just a simple little stick, a minor twig, and a snap, and then all of a sudden they're in the tree or they're pinned against the trunk.
Enough.
My lady, if the dwarf has plans, we could use them. Lord Thranduil also mentioned an elf in your company and glances over at you, Halloweth. With a unique set of skills in elven magic. I
Uh-huh.
would hesitate to ask, but Master Halloweth,
Please,
do have a
Halloweth, if
certain-
there's something that you know.
the elf scouts say you may control the powers of Yavanna. Is this true?
It is, though not exactly well tested yet, but minorly.
Lady Tariel,
I-
if the roots and trees are on our side, we can use that to our advantage.
Could I spring traps using my magic? Could I
You
make
can-
traps?
You can certainly try. Yes.
Okay, I might try that then.
Another
Looking-
question for you, Halloweth. Excuse me, Lady Tariel.
No,
Sorry,
I'm
Charlotte.
I'm Charlotte looking at the map and thinking. Go on.
Yeah. Master Halloweth.
Yes.
It was oft said that Yavanna gave those with elven power the potential to speak through the trees, send messages to one another. Have you mastered such a technique yet? And he's kind of saying this with like an awe in his voice, knowing that Thranduil has mentioned at least a little bit of your magical power.
I have yet not, but I can try.
Would you try now?
Absolutely.
All right. Halloweth, I would like you to make a lore check with ill favor. And what I would like you to do is place your hand on a nearby tree and
Mhm.
have one of the other elves, potentially Tanel, also place her hand on another tree.
Dinner and a show.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, to know, can you that lovely silver birch over there?
Mhm.
Can you touch that? Thank you. I go here by this.
She runs over.
aspen, and he just places a hand on it.
Go ahead and make
let's
me a
see
lore
what
check.
we get.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a with disadvantage, right?
Yes, ill favor. Ill
Mhm.
favor.
Okay.
Usually you
I-
have favor. Oh, you know what? Actually, if you want to re-roll, I'll let you, because usually on magic lore checks, I said you could roll with advantage. So because this is sort of
Okay.
taking away that advantage, you can just make a straight roll. No need for
Mhm.
ill favor.
I was about to say elves have favor in lore
Right.
to
And
begin
with
with. Yeah.
yeah, with
Mhm.
Halloweth's magic, he gets that
I mean,
extra.
Fair.
Even with ill favor, I got 17, which beats my target number by 5.
Okay. Wow. Beating target number by 5. Okay. Hang on.
Yes. Yes.
Tanel.
Mhm.
It's faint. But as you touch the tree, you feel something in your mind that feels as if it's one of those moments where you get like that sixth sense of, I feel someone is behind me, or
Mhm.
almost like the Force in Star Wars, or
Mhm.
some sort of presence around you. It doesn't quite remind you of Halloweth just yet, but there
Mm.
is definitely a stir within your mind. Halloweth, you would feel something vaguely similar, but a little bit stronger since you're the one casting it. So I will say you do succeed to a point. You are aware of it, but you didn't quite send a message in that same way.
To be fair, I didn't roll particularly well.
Fair, fair.
Yeah.
All right. So
I will. Yeah, I can give it a good shot.
it may prove very useful, Lord Halloweth.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Lady Tanel,
Hmm.
Thranduil mentioned you are very fond of trees.
Yes.
I imagine you'll be joining us in the treetops then.
Yes. I wouldn't imagine myself elsewhere.
Keep a mind out for fire arrows. The orcs may intend to burn down the forest.
Great. She has a minor flashback to the fire in Lorien and comes back. That we will be careful of.
Do they have any siege weapons of any kind?
None. Not in Mirkwood.
Cool. And these fire arrows, where are they being stored? Do they have a stock of tar, for want of a better word, like a stock of flammable liquids that they...
We were unable to see at the time, but if we keep our eyes opened, it may be that we could see it in the moment. I imagine you're thinking of an explosion.
Please, yes, let me know.
We will.
We
Tell
might
me-
not even need to find the stores if they. Let me work on. I can maybe. Is there a river or a cliff?
Well,
Mm,
so
ahead.
remind me whence they're coming, what direction?
They are coming from the south to the north, and you are going from the north to the south. And it is likely that if you were to meet them in head-on combat, you would basically be giving up the advantage of the terrain that you know.
Right. But where specifically, where are we relative to Dol Guldur? I know you said
South of Dol Guldur.
we are right at the
Oh,
edge
okay.
of the Brownlands.
Correct. Yes, but further west, closer to the Anduin River.
To
You
the
wouldn't travel.
Anduin.
Yeah, you wouldn't travel too much through the Brownlands desert where like Rune is or anywhere.
How
close to that.
far are we from the Anduin?
It's probably going to take you about a day or two.
So the river's not in sight.
No.
Okay.
The river is not in sight. No, you're more or less
Bummer.
on. Yeah, there are some hills within the forest, but nothing large enough to constitute a cliff, really.
So if I understand this correctly, we're going to be meeting them in like the clearing, at pretty much the foot of the forest.
The southwestern edge of the forest.
At the edge of the forest. What this Lieutenant Philareth is suggesting is perhaps allowing them into the forest, draw them in from the trees, fall back, meet them on the road head on, and use a 3 different, basically splitting your people into 3. Some in the trees, a main force, and then a flank on either side.
Ooh, if they're going to try and burn down the forest, we can use this. I can create a vapor. He kind of like reaches towards the cart, kind of pulls up a couple bottles. I've been wanting to experiment a little bit more with these. It's actually a very interesting thing. If you take a hot poker, a hot piece of steel, and put it into a coal fire's smoke, it'll ignite the whole thing, and then woof. So they could find. Well, we don't need to find their tar stores or anything like that. We could just ignite them once they light up.
Will the enemy yet have learned that Sauron has been vanquished?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes, they have. They have. You, the 3 of you, I think, will have mentioned that you have previously run into orcs, and apologies, I didn't mention this before, Charlotte. You have run into orcs that have said, "All hail Gwaihir." So the brainwashing is not Sauron exclusive; it is Ring exclusive, and whoever controls the power.
Just didn't know if there was any like prestidigitation we could have done to, yeah.
Not quite.
Hard.
Hmm.
Very well,
That's
my
fair.
lady, Commander. We must prepare.
Very well. Let us lay what traps we may. I want their backs to the Anduin.
Mhm.
Do not let them into the forest beyond the bounds of Dol Guldur.
Understood, my lady.
If they penetrate the forest and the battle is lost, let us continue on our journey with what forces we can save. There are so few of us left now. It's not worth harrying them all the way home. We have to persist with the quest.
As you command. I'm going to let you all know how this is going to work.
Okay.
Special thanks to my wife.
I'm so excited.
Special thanks to my wife for helping me build this, as well as the Dungeon Master's Diary, wonderful TikTok account
Yes.
run by a guy by the name of Cody. All right, so
Who owes me a map?
yeah, he talked to me about it actually. So okay. Hang on, I gotta find it. Okay, here's how this is gonna work. The four of you will each pick one of three fighting positions you'd like to be in: the trees, the ground forces on the main road, or flanking them in the forest. Depending on what you pick will be your turn order. Trees first, main road second, flanking third. The orc army is represented by a number. You do not know that number total. You will each be rolling 2d6. That number that you roll is the number of points I will be subtracting from the point total that represents the orc army. You do not know the total number you need to hit until you get it down to half. Once you hit half, the orcs are going to split from what they were originally doing and join one of the other three attacking forces. If one of those orc forces lose half of their number, I will roll for them to either flee in fear or join that other one of the two forces.
Gotcha.
There is a leader of this army, and I am going to ask you all to make scan checks on each of your turns to see if you spot him, or if you would like to look for anything else like tar pits, you may. If you do spot him, and you roll a successful targeted attack and kill the leader, I will not be rolling for the other half of those orcs to join the army. They will flee in fear.
Awesome.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. So I would
And we
like
don't
to-
have any time to lay traps or anything like that?
you will have the next day to lay
Ooh.
traps.
Okay.
But before you do, I would like you, all of you, to tell me who's in the trees, who's on the road, and who's on the flank.
Tanella's trees.
Figured you would be.
I think it makes sense for Tariel to be on the road.
Okay.
Road, for sure.
I'll flank them.
All right. All right. All right. So here's how the turn order is going to work. I'm going to ask you to make a scan check first, an attack roll with your 2d6, and then if you are in the trees, you get to make a stealth check. Those in the trees and the flank have the potential to launch volleys of arrows and then hide behind the trees they're on. Those on the road, not so much. Good so
God,
far?
This is one of those moments where I just wish we were in person to have like a
I know.
Yeah.
Lay the map
to
out.
go
Little mini Warhammer. This
or
is
like
most
roll 20.
This
Mhm.
is one of those theater of the mind where we're basically just going to be subtracting. There's very little tactics, flanking movement, and all of that because it's several thousand orcs. I can, in good conscience, make that a a decent battle map. And Little Wit, I didn't want to ask Little Wit because there's no tactical advantage. Like, just put a bunch of forest trees here and just make it look good.
And yeah, and just put a
Okay.
big skull where the orc army is.
Death. All right. We will be right back. We're going to take our 5-minute break. And when we return, the battle for Mirkwood. And welcome back. Y'all ready?
So ready.
Yeah.
So ready.
All right. Whew.
Can y'all hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
we
Oh my
can.
Oh my God.
Is it too loud? Is it too soft?
It's
Are we good?
perfect.
Louder.
Ooh.
Beery, would you like to tell me what traps you're thinking of now, or would you like to keep them a surprise?
Oh my. You're kind of sneaking this up on me.
I could
so-
tell you the idea that why Tanel brought it up. It was
course.
mainly just like almost tripwire traps where it would like either snap up or
Yeah.
snap them up or like you said, drop rocks or anything like that. It's
Yep.
mostly distraction and deterrent.
Definitely in the tree line where everybody in like Beery can just run around and like help, because I mean like elves have been around forever. Like they would know how to do a snare, they would know how to do a lot of different traps, and we could kind of fortify the tree line. Just full of all sorts of nasty little things. Just like swinging sharpened branch balls that just come ripping out of nowhere. Very Ewok stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say too,
I'm really feeling
Taria,
Cliffy.
Taria would have commended Gollum into the tender loving care of a trusted quartet of senior
true.
elves, let us
Yeah,
say.
they'll fall back towards the end, stay behind you on the road, and if
Yeah.
need be, fall back.
You can't,
All right.
because you guys can't protect. Do your thing and protect Gollum.
Mhm.
I was really hoping you'd forget about that. All right.
I'd like to lay my traps from the flank, if that's okay.
What are
Or
your
at least
traps?
actually, not necessarily towards the flank, but towards if they decide to flee into the trees in particular.
What did you have in mind?
I have a pit trap. It's a very simple pit trap. setup,
Okay.
which I'm going to cover. I'm going to attempt to make it look. It's going to be deep, but I'm going to try and use some magic here to essentially hollow out a large portion of the earth.
Yes.
Sparing the trees. But it's a considerable portion of the earth. Just make a large pit, and in the bottom is going to be rocks, rocky shards, real just classic Prince of Persia style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
9,000 elves. Yeah, you have no problem having this.
That's
Would
true.
you
We
like?
have a huge workforce?
You have a huge workforce
Yeah.
with
Okay.
you.
Good.
How much rope do we have?
Yeah. I'm then going to use my magic to cover the pit make sure all the elves know, hey, it's going to look completely natural. Do not step on this in this.
I'm sure
section
the
of forest.
elves will be able to tell.
They'll probably be
Elves
able to
have
tell,
great
but
sight.
Probably.
make a
And they
lore
know where
check.
it is.
I'm using the thinnest, like an inch of earth over the top.
Yeah,
make
but
it look like
Earth
grass.
doesn't sit the same once it's been dug up.
I know. I'm using magic. I do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Make a
do I
lore
have to roll
check for
anything
me.
that?
Yeah, make a lore check with advantage.
Come on, Hellworth.
Okay. That's pretty good. Hang on. Maths. 25. I beat my target number by 12.
Wow.
That's a great pit.
It's a
With
great
two-
That's
hit.
such a
doing
good
two
pit.
sixes.
In fact, on a 2-6, with 2 6s and a 25, I will say
God.
you have enough time and enough of a workforce that you dig it on both sides.
Yeah,
So that the
bitch.
flanks that you were doing, so if they piece out,
Mhm.
they're done.
They are
They
now. We have bottlenecked them now.
Mhm,
These
mhm.
pits.
Ooh.
And those
Can you
rocks on the
bottleneck
bottom
them on the
are
road?
deadly. Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
think
can
so,
do
right?
that.
There's a pit
Yeah.
on either side of the road,
Pit on either side of the road. Yeah, just within the forest.
Yeah.
and then
I'm
all
also
of the
going to do,
smoke
like-
around to deter them onto.
Yeah, from the flank. Am I on one side? I'm trying to visualize this map. So at the moment, you've got Tunnel in the trees. What direction is Tunnel? Are Tunnel, Beery, and Tariel, who are down? Beery and Tariel down the road. Is Tunnel in the trees just above, looking straight down?
Tunnel will be
Mhm.
above, looking straight down, basically
Okay.
facing south towards the army. And then when they come into the forest, will turn around and face the north. Tariel and Beery are on the road up north, facing south to meet them head on. You will be from the east or west, whichever your choice, doesn't really matter, but you will be flanking them from the side.
Okay, I'll go on the east, on the dog. So probably the western side, which is where
By Dol Guldur?
will be.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, closer to
I'll
Dol
go there.
Guldur than the eastern side on the road.
Okay, cool.
Very well.
I'll go that side. There are pits on both sides. I'm going to be in the trees, actually on the flanks. There, I'm not going to be on the ground.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you're going to be in the trees on the side, you are going to open yourself up to more attacks with those arrows. Just so you're
okay.
aware.
No, that's not necessary. Then I'll be on the ground.
Okay.
I still want to be maneuverable.
You'll
I can use-
still be able
I
to
have an
hide
idea
in the trees.
for magic in the trees, which I'll need. I don't need to be in the trees for it. Okay.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go. Whew.
An eerie silence falls upon the forest. And you all wait. 1 hour. 2. And the sound of marching orc boots draws closer and closer and closer. Beery has been thinking and drawing up traps all day. And I want to let you know, Max, if you do think of any others, fallen tree branches, spikes, because all of the normal, spiked branches and log, things in the way, those have all been thought of. And those are going to, come into play if they do. But if in the moment you have a stroke of aha, using anything that you have, and that goes for any of the players, if you want to try something, let me know. But around you, the forest is eerily quiet. There is no wind. There is no sound of animals, only the sound of orc boots getting closer and closer and closer. Tariel, would you have given the order for those in the trees with Tunnel to wait or to fire upon the orcs before they get into the forest?
Oh, to wait. Absolutely to
wait.
wait.
Okay.
Yep. They should wait until I don't know how are the orcs, how well organized are they? Are they entering the forest in ranks or in a mass?
They seem to be entering in ranks. They're not in the forest yet, but they do seem to be in rank.
Okay.
In that same way that the shot of the Isengard orcs marching from Isengard to Rohan, they're boom, 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 boom.
Which will probably fall apart once they get into the woods, but if they try to maintain it at all, Tariel would say, let, 10 rows of orc. I mean, let them get a little comfortable long enough, to start to let their guard down ever so slightly, and then fire.
Tanel. You watch hi, Samson. It's okay. I got perfect timing, Samson. Thank you so much.
Why?
Our own personal warg.
Hold on.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff.
And as in preparation, Beery is driving his shield into the dirt, kind of in front of where that road kind of pinch point is.
Yeah. All right.
And he's putting his hammer together.
Tori,
Yeah.
you ready? All right.
Right. You said scan check first, right?
Can
Hang
I-
on. We're not there yet.
Oh,
What's
okay.
up?
All right.
What's up, Tariel?
Sorry, I just wanted to maybe propose something.
Go ahead.
I mean, can I do this off
Yeah.
the record?
yeah.
Okay. I think it would be really interesting and dramatic
Mhm.
to have Tariel and maybe Beery, maybe one or two lieutenants standing all by themselves in the middle of the road,
I love this idea.
waiting for their orcs.
Hell.
Like
Yes.
way back at the point where she would want the other elves to attack. And then as the orcs approach, start with their predictable orc mockery and disdain. That's when Tariel tells the elves in the trees to fire.
Incredible.
And
I
then
love
That,
it.
yes.
I love
Okay.
it. I love
Okay.
it. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Ready?
Mhm.
The eerie silence that creeps over the forest is overtaken by loud, thunderous orc boots. Tanel,
Mhm.
they're a mile away.
Oh, God.
They're half a mile away. They're a quarter mile away. 100 yards. 50 yards.
This is the worst GPS ever. I hate it.
Fire arrows in 25 feet.
They said there'd be a river here. What the?
Just before the orcs enter the forest, they halt. And one orc walks in. It's small, not wearing much armor. And it spots you, Tariel, and a few of your lieutenants on the road. Is Beery there with you with the shield?
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's Tariel. She's got
Let's say Ravandir is there as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Philareth and Beery. So the four of you.
great.
The four of you stand in the middle of the road. Tanel, there are thousands of elves in these trees and thousands of elves on the road and thousands on the flanks, all relatively hidden in the gloom and the brush, trying to hide their numbers. But the orc skulks into the forest alone, gives a sniff, sees the four of you, locks eyes.
Is there any here that wish to treat with the great and powerful army of Gwai here, the Wind Lord?
I see no great and powerful army. I see skulking cowards slinking out of the shadows. This is your chance to turn back now, wretched one.
Ah! I see. There will be no parley, no begging for your life, no quarter given. Elf?
We do not treat with those who would not treat with us in good faith. What would you have of us, small one?
All we ask, all Gwai here asks is your fealty. The time of the beast is upon us. The time of elves, men, and dwarves is over.
And where is your bird lord? Where does he cower? Why did he not come here alone? Why did he not face me himself? Is he scared of the earth? Are birds now frightened of the trees?
A god has no quarrel with an ant and does not pay it any mind.
An ant? Do you yearn to crush me, orc?
We will destroy you.
You like killing things, orc. You like death. Then let me give it to you. Fire!
And here we go. Hell
Mario.
yes.
By the way, they get points because I quoted the movie.
You know what?
Why'd you say anything?
I'll let it slide. I'll let
Thank you.
it slide this time.
As Beery is putting his hammer together, like Beery's got like full heart eyes after the speech.
Tinel,
Yes.
roll me a scan check to see if
Got
you
it.
see the commander.
Find
Oh
him.
god. I hit. Oh, I'm good. I beat my target number by 3.
By 3. Okay,
Yes.
hang on. You peer out. You do not see him. Please roll me 2d6
Yep.
for your first volley.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. I'm so
9.
excited.
9. All right.
Yes.
The orc falls to the ground, pierced with at least a dozen arrows. The many that were just outside of the forest now rush in head on, but they fall dead to the ground. In that same way from like Helm's Deep, that many of the first ones in the front lines don't even make it.
Oh
They
yeah.
just fall like
Mhm.
dominoes. Okay. Tinel, I need you to make me a stealth check to see if they notice how many of you are in the trees.
All right. There are 2 6s.
That's good.
25.
25. You have no problem angling your body away from any of the orcs that may have just taken pot shots at you with the crossbows.
For
All
a
right.
little bit of flavor, after she fires, she grabs the branch above her and just pulls her up one. so that like she's like, yep, okay.
Hell yes. All right. The orcs are now going to make their attack. I am going to roll 1d6. On a 5 or a 6, one of the orcs' fire arrows will cause the tree. Excuse me. On a 6, one of the orcs' fire arrows will cause the tree to catch fire. Please hold. That's a 3. Okay. So, the number that I roll is going to be indicative of the number of elves that you eventually lose in the battle. I will be keeping total. Don't think you're losing 3 in that moment. It's gonna
Mhm.
be, expanded upon. Okay. We're gonna try and speed things up here a bit.
Mhm.
Ariel, Beery, please make me scan checks and then roll 2d6 to see how much damage you do. Halloweth, I will ask you to do the same as well on the flank. Does anyone beat their scan check first?
Yeah,
All
with
right.
a 23.
With a 23. Okay.
Beat it by 10.
I just hit mine
Okay.
I beat mine by
with
3.
14.
By 3. Okay.
Scanning.
Scanning.
Where is he?
Beery. You do not notice the commander of the army, but you do notice something about the orcs. They're not all rushing in at once. This is a rank and file column that almost seems as though they're trying to overwhelm with strength of numbers. And you get the sense that they may fear the forest because they're not trying to flank you at all. Tariel, Beery, roll me 2d6s. Tell me what you get.
Ooh, I rolled a
6.
6.
Okay.
So, that's 10. 10 total.
10 total. Okay. Okay. So that's. Sorry, I got to do math here. 10 total. And Charlotte, sorry, Tariel, you rolled what?
6.
6. All right, so 16 total. All right. Did either of you roll higher than an 11? No, you rolled a 10 and.
6.
Oh, but it's combined. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Teamwork makes
what
the
does
So-
this mean?
So here's what
High
we're gonna
five.
do. I'm gonna introduce.
Forest
the new-
5.
I'm gonna introduce the newer part of this mechanic, and it's gonna be called disarray.
Love
It's
that.
a momentum building mechanic. When one of the forces in the trees, on the road, on the flank, rolls an 11 or a 12 in their individual rolls, or combine high enough, you will be able to let the next person add an additional d6 to their attack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh yeah.
Halloweth.
Oh yeah.
Halloweth, please,
Go.
please roll me 3 d6s.
Yeah, bitch.
Come on.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I got with 3d6s a 14.
14. Oh,
Okay.
freaking K.
Okay.
All right.
Does it also? Sorry, is there a way that, in a very Helm's Deep fashion, can Barry and I track kills, please?
I know, I was just about to ask the same thing.
Oh.
I was like, 17, 19.
Both of you, I will ask you to keep track of the number of d6s that you rolled. So, Beery,
Mhm.
you had 10. Halloweth, you had 14. Okay, now the orcs are going to make their attacks on both the road and the flank. That is a 6 on the road, which is just a normal attack. So 4. And this is for you, Halloweth. That is also a 6. Okay, so on a 6 in a successful orc attack, the player in that position has a chance to get hit with a poison arrow. The orc is now going to roll to hit the player's individual parry score. If the player gets hit, they will take 1d6 of poison damage every turn. Halloweth, remind everyone of your parry score.
18.
18. This orc now has to beat an 18 on 1d12 and 2d6s.
Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Come on.
8, 4, 1. That is a 13.
Oh.
You duck out of the way as fast as you can. We are back to the top of the order. As I should mention, because there are still hits, there are elves going down around you as these orcs continue to pile in. And Beery, you know it's only a matter of time before you all are going to become, overwhelmed and meet them head on if you stay on this road. We're back to the top of the order. Tinel, still in the trees. Make a scan check, then roll 2d6s for me.
No, I don't. I'm 1 under my target number.
1 under
Scan.
your target. Actually, okay, that's fine. Excuse me though, because Halloweth, you rolled a 14,
I did, yeah.
which is above an 11 or 12. So Tinel, please roll me 3d6s to continue.
Oh.
All right,
the
go on,
momentum
baby,
going.
go
All right, come on.
Stacks and stacks.
Pay it forward. Pay it forward. 13.
13.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 4s and a 5.
Oh.
Let's go.
Brilliant. Okay. The orcs are falling like just those tiny little gnats that go into the light and then kind of fall because of the zap. All of them.
Zap
dozens
orcs.
of them. All right.
Oh my god.
Okay. 40. Okay, so hang on. I got to do some math
Oh no,
real
you're
quick.
fine. I rolled my stealth check just so that we can keep it
Yes, go
going.
ahead. What'd you roll?
23. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, yes, you get out of the way. I am now going to make a roll for the orcs. That is a 4. A couple you see of flaming tar arrows go past your face, up the brush, but don't land in any of the trees nearby. We go now to the road. Tariel, Beery, make scan checks for me, and then roll 2 d6s. I'm sorry, 3 d6s.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
bitch.
go.
Yeah, bitch.
Ooh. No.
Oh wait, scan check first and then 3
Yes.
d6s. Right.
Scan check
I
first, then
almost-
3
okay,
d6s.
Right. I can't read that very well. Okay.
18.
18 on a scan.
13.
13. Okay. You don't see the commander yet,
Yeah.
Where's this
But-
bastard?
I'm just
but
short
they're approaching your line. The arrows are
Oh, wait!
almost. Oh,
I did it wrong. I rolled 3 d6s. I
Oh.
should have rolled a 12.
That's-
Sorry, I rolled my
that's
3
okay.
d6s.
You need a
Okay.
12 in there?
Let me roll. So let me roll again.
No worries.
Come on, Tariel.
Didn't count. Okay. That is a 14.
a 14.
There we go.
Okay.
That is a 14.
You don't see the commander yet, either of you. But I'd like you each to roll 3d6s to keep the momentum going.
9.
10.
9.
That's
and
enough
10.
between the two of us.
It is between the two of you, but I will say. Yeah, I'll keep
You
it
just
going.
said it adds up.
Yeah, no. Well, no, because I'm thinking if both of you are together, you would need to hit a combine. Let's see, it's 2, so the total would be
Oh, Yeah,
out of
send a new number
24.
for 2.
Yeah. So the new number for
Be
2 would
20.
be 24, so it'd be 20. And you hit a 10 and a what?
Oh, I've got a 9.
And a 9.
Oh.
A 19 does not hit. But you do manage to inflict quite a bit of damage on the road. So I'm going to make that. Hang on, real quick. I need to
We
do
blocked the chain. We ruined the chain.
No, that's still
Alright,
19.
Combo breaker.
It's still 19.
We're holding the line. Ooh, also, is it time to start lighting those smoke pyres?
I
That
thought they
is
were
right.
smoldering when the orcs rolled up. I thought they were already going, right?
Or are they already going?
Wasn't that meant to distract and dismay them from
can light
them
'em
so
now.
that they would be burnt? Oh, okay. Or light them now.
Yeah, no. So you guys did not light them
Okay.
as
Shoot
they
some
got
flaming
closer.
arrows into those bitches. Light them up.
Amazing. Okay.
I'm also imagining that's how Tariel like gives orders. Like,
Shoot some. Okay. Okay, hang on.
we're nowhere close to where we need to draw back, are we?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's have something planned.
Okay.
You've
okay.
got something planned.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I got to keep track of all of these armies. It is at this point that Tariel and Beery are met with the enemy head on. The orcs have now flooded enough that you are now in hand-to-hand combat with each of them. I am now going to make a roll for both of you.
Oh, Beery's
that
loving
you-
every second of this.
That you may be in single combat with someone. If I roll a 6, you will now need to have an individual fight with that orc on this turn.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Love that.
Okay, for Beery, that is a
Tariel, let's
5.
go.
That is a 5. You do not need to have an individual fight right now. You can continue to roll your d6s. Tariel, that is a 6. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Come on
Tariel.
now.
Remind me of your parry score, please.
Oh, sorry, I pulled up a different thing.
No, you're good.
Boop, boop, boop. Trying to keep track of everything on my teeny tiny little screen. 16.
16. All right.
Mhm.
I am rolling 1d12 and 2d6s. I need to beat a 16.
Yes, you do.
That is a 6, a 2, and a 3. Tariel, you have no problem dealing with this first orc that hits you on the front line. Boom. Off with his head. Halloweth, you're
Yes.
up.
And by the way, I would like to, I know we're not officially doing one-on-one, whatever for everybody, but I would like to utilize Gleam of Wrath, if possible.
Remind me what that does. Remind everyone what that does.
Your folk have seen many defeats and many fruitless victories in their wars against the shadow. The deadly rage that your kindred harbor for the enemy infuses your weapons with a gleam of chill flame. On a successful attack, your adversary additionally loses 1 point of hate or resolve. plus 1 point for each success.
Oh.
So her weapons have this shimmering blue fire, and she's just a whirl of green pain.
Hell yes. All right. If
No,
we get
bad.
Remember, she's got those 2 long daggers, and it's just
yeah.
it's like she's at a
man.
rave, but with murder.
Amazing. I'm gonna put that on a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
no, I'm gonna write that down real quick.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just,
All right.
just neon murder.
Yeah.
Murder.
All
That's
right.
new call sign.
Beery. Remind me, you rolled a 10 again on this one or an 11 for this attack. I'm also trying to keep track of how many.
Yes, that was a 10 again, and
Okay.
he's staying by his shield and just turning people
Whacking
to sleep.
away. Amazing. Halloweth, you're up on the flank.
Yeah,
Two
I rolled
d6s.
2d6.
Just
Okay, I rolled
2d6s. You rolled an 8. All right. So that is. Okay. I am now going to roll a 6. You are again going to potentially take poison damage on the flank. That is a 4. These arrows
Man,
whizzing by you.
This is
Absolutely
stressful.
no problem.
stormtroopers of Middle Earth out here.
Yeah. Are the? Can you tell me how many orcs? Like from my position, I'm waiting until there is a significant. So there are the pits right next to the flank,
Mm-hmm.
and then closer to me and the other side, there's obviously the pit doesn't expand the entire flank
Mhm.
itself. Can I wait until there is a group of orcs almost like directly square on in my field of vision in the flank, like they've evened out on both sides?
Yes, you may. I
Basically
will
in my
say.
in my maximum field of view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I will say you don't have enough yet, as it is only turn 3 or turn 2 right now.
Yeah,
So you
just
haven't
know
gotten
when
it
that is.
Good to know. Okay, I will let you know. I will let you know on that one. Okay. We're back to the top of the order. Tanel, roll me 2d6. Oh, sorry. Make a scan check. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you make a scan check, Halloweth?
I didn't know.
Make a scan check for me.
I'll
Get in
roll
there.
mine real
Come on, Hal.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting.
Spot him, spot him, spot him.
Oh, I got a 6. on one
Okay.
turn.
Okay.
19. I beat my target number by 7.
Okay.
Ooh.
To give you all a little bit of an idea to peer behind the curtain, you're going to hit.
It goes down.
You're
slow.
going to need to hit a number of successful scan checks, and the number will get lower
Right.
each time.
Right.
You don't see him yet. Tanel, scan check.
My scan was a 20.
Okay.
So I
good
beat
to
it,
know.
my target number, by 9.
Okay. You don't see him yet.
Son of a.
2d6, please.
Where's Waldo out here?
No, right?
Where's what?
2d6s.
Oh,
That's the commander's name.
it's just a 4.
Waldo the orc.
Ooh,
Yeah.
a 4. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Oh, no.
Oh, but
You
they're gonna
literally
go-
shoot yourself in the face.
They're gonna
All
go
right.
to dice jail for a little bit.
Mhm. Goodbye.
Yeah, we're gonna get some
Okay.
new D6s on that.
Tanel,
All right.
we are
Yes.
now in turn 3. You no longer have the ability to make stealth checks. The orcs know you are in the trees. They are going to continue to fire. On a 6, for me, as the orcs, they're
Mhm.
going to attempt to specifically light the fire on the tree that you are on. If the tree catches fire, you can either use an action to put it out or you can hop to another tree, but it is going to be your action that turn.
Okay.
Okay. 2. Come on.
Yes. Okay. Woo! I mean,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Dom. That sucks.
Uh-huh. Tariel, Beery, you're up.
Oh, right.
Come on, Tariel.
All right.
Scan first, right?
Yes,
Scan
scan check
first.
first.
13. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Is that a. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
So I don't
goodness.
make my target number.
Beery,
Ugh, 16.
16.
Target number's 13.
You don't see him yet. Roll me 2d6s, each of you.
Bastards out there somewhere.
Roll the one with my dead baby.
Oh,
or my sperm. And here we
5.
go. Okay.
We're falling behind.
5. Oh, no.
Oh, also 5.
Oh, no.
The sperm D6 has to go away for a little
All right.
while. Okay. He's cursed.
We're starting to panic.
Okay. Orcs,
okay.
orcs are making their rolls now. That's a 1. Oh, my God.
Oh, they're not great though. Like we're not doing amazing, but they are not great.
They are not.
Crappy
They are.
orcs.
These orcs are just falling against you, and you are the shield, bashing skulls, the hammer, denting bodies. Oh, it's beautiful sight. Halloweth, you're up. Scan check first.
Ooh, okay. Oh, holy shit! Wow, I got a 24 with a 12, a Gandalf, and 2 6s with my 2d6. I hit max.
So you can actually see Eru Iluvatar right now. Like,
I have maxed out on all of my die.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Halloweth, as soon as you spot the commander, you know exactly what he looks like. He is standing just at the edge of the forest, hasn't entered yet, but is ushering orcs, literally whipping them with his sword.
Okay.
You now have the ability to make a targeted attack using your elven ability. If you take him out, as soon as these fall below half, they will not join the rest.
finish him.
I shall. I'm going to go for a targeted shot straight through his loud mouth.
Yes. Now, remind everybody, what is your target number for attacks?
12.
All right, you need to beat a 12. I will tell you right now, this orc has a parry of +4. So you now need to beat a 16 with your bow.
Got this, Hal.
Remember, you also have the ability to use extra d6s if with hope points. if
Oh
you would
yeah,
like.
I'm gonna use a hope point.
You can use a hope point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's very
Add
smart.
another. Hang on. I need to go into my little dice bag right here.
Oh.
White Tree of Gondor on the front.
Fancy
So
pants
fancy.
over here.
I love this bag so much. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba. Grab it.
Do we still have our music? Did the music stop?
No, music should still be there. Hang on.
Okay,
Oh, I hear it.
I hear
It
it.
popped back.
Okay. Gotta stay motivated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba. Yeah.
Come on, Hal. You got this. You can't miss.
Halloweth.
Halloweth.
A 22.
22.
Halloweth,
Mhm.
you spot him. You draw your bow. You let it fly. And you watch as the arrow goes through this orc commander's mouth and he falls to the ground. The orcs around him, looking around, but charge in anyway. You have eliminated the commander on turn freaking 4 or 3.
Yes.
Nice.
Excuse me.
That was
More
a
like
yeah, that
hell
was a
to death, am I
ridiculous-
right?
That was a heck of a roll.
Hell of death.
but
Okay.
Zach,
Yeah.
that still only counts as 1.
Ah, that's 6 HP off, my friend.
Uh-huh.
So I hope it was worth it.
It was.
Good.
That is also not going to
Excellent.
stop me from trying to roll to see if you get hit with a poison arrow. You don't. Again, that's 5. Damn it.
Do
Okay.
I get my
so
regular
shitty at their little poison arrows.
my regular like 2d6 roll now?
You do get your no,
Okay.
because you took the targeted attack, that is going to count as your turn now.
Fine,
That's
no
fair.
worries.
Alright.
Absolutely fine.
All right.
Oh, okay. How does it work then with my battle with Biri then? Because otherwise I'm going to fall drastically behind.
Still
This-
only counts as one.
Still only counts as 1.
Motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I'm going to add it onto on the total as it is right now. So I'm going to add it just the 1, since I know that's.
Give you another
definite.
D6 because apparently
Aw.
badass.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Mhm.
You're just
Tanel?
gonna have to get in the thick of it, my friend.
Well,
I really
There
am.
it is.
I suck. I have a plan. I'm gonna-
Tanel, you're back up.
Okay. Scan.
No, you don't need to make
We don't
scan
have to
checks
scan.
anymore.
Oh, there's
Oh, I
Dude's
don't.
Dead.
Thank God. Because I
gone.
rolled
He's
it.
real dead.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood. I thought there was a commander per like
No, there is
Gotcha.
one commander guarding all of these.
perfect because I rolled a 9. Sauron.
Oh.
Give me those 2d6.
Okay, please. Okay. 7.
7. Okay.
Ugh.
Okay. On.
that's perfectly average. That's great, 10.
Perfectly average.
No, but
Here's my d6. That's a 1. The fire arrows are hitting the trees, but they don't seem to be catching, and the elves are able to pull them out and continue to even use them and fire down onto the orcs. But there are crossbowmen that are approaching you. I would ask Beery, Tariel, you're up. 2d6 each.
Are we in any? Oh, does it seem like the ranks are now a little more chaotic? They're a little bit less regimented now.
Not yet. They are
Okay.
still in their sort of charging phase, and the loss of the commander hasn't quite hit them yet.
We're going with small but fierce.
Also a 7,
Come on.
7.
but I did roll a 6. If that makes any
Oh, okay.
difference.
It doesn't, but that's okay.
Damn.
All right.
10.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Orcs are now. That's a 4. You do not have to have individual combat this turn.
Damn it.
Right. Halloweth, you're up. No scan checks, just 2d6.
You got it.
Wait, can he roll 3?
It's a 9. Oh,
We didn't roll
Uh,
high enough.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
we
you
didn't roll
both
high
didn't
enough.
roll
I
high
thought we
enough,
rolled high enough.
yeah.
9.
9. Okay.
You might catch up.
All right, here we go. That is a 6. Halloweth, I am going to roll.
Ooh.
And your parry score is a 16, you said?
18.
An 8? Oh, an
Ooh.
18,
Mhm.
excuse me. Okay, here we go. 11, 15, 16. Ugh.
Oh,
It goes right past
Nada.
your face.
So close.
Does not
my
work. Oh, man, that is unfortunate. But
What's it like to be almost good enough?
Oh, jeez. Don't taunt the lore master.
oh
I'm
no.
not. I'm
Charlotte?
taunting the orc.
This is true.
Charlotte, I am the orc. Tanel, you're up. Top of
All
the
right.
order.
2d6. Here we go.
Oh no, 10.
Oh no.
4.
4. Okay.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna go through all my
Ooh.
d6s tonight.
Just give him a
Yeah.
stern talking to.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
here,
yeah,
you
yeah.
little shit.
All right. Here's my 1d6. That's a 1. The trees remain intact. Beery, Tariel, you're up.
That's where my
God.
luck is coming in. That he's rolled a 1
8.
every single time
8.
on me.
7.
7. Okay. So that is 14, 15. All right. Here's
Holy
my
shit.
1d6. That's a 2. You guys do not have to fight individual battles this turn.
Cool.
Halloweth, you're up.
Oh,
Oh my god.
5.
5. Okay. Halloweth. Now seems like a really good time in your intuition to use those traps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the trap's going down. The
To use the
pits.
the pits.
Okay, pits are going down. And they are big pits, so as many orcs as possible that are on them. I use my magic to just that ground just breaks away.
Okay.
Yes.
Halloweth, you will need to, I think, retreat to goad these orcs into following you. Yes, into the pits. You can sort of, you know where they are. The elves know where they are. Because you're using them now, I am going to say that we will skip over you next turn. So we will use this action to have the orcs fall into it. However, with the ingenuity of the pits and the use of your magic, I would like you to roll me 2 d12s
Ooh.
using
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, a 9 and a 7.
a 9 and a 7, an additional. So on top of the
16.
6, the additional 16 points. Halloweth,
Not bad.
it is around this time you see that all of these orcs falling down into the pits. And the orcs stop themselves before they fall in. And you stand on the other side. And these orcs, commanderless, leaderless, glance back at the elves in the trees, the orcs on the road, their numbers failing. And they run out of the forest. The flank position is now defeated.
Yes!
Halloweth, you now have the ability to either go up into the trees with Tanel or onto the road with Beery, and Tariel, where the main force I think would be. You know.
Choices.
I'm gonna go onto the road. I'm gonna stand.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Tanel,
All right.
you're up. And with the traps and that use, take an extra d6.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. It begins again.
Come on.
Come on,
Come
little
on.
D6s.
Go, Tori.
Come on.
There we go. 12.
All right.
Nice.
One was a 6.
All right. Here we go. That is a 5. The tree's still not managing to catch fire. I would like the 3 of you now to roll me 2 d6s apiece. We will now up that score now that the 3 of you are there. Instead of a 24,
nice.
it is now, 12, 24, 36. So you would now need to hit a 30 or higher
Between the 3 of us.
between the 3 of us.
I am going to take this opportunity, since there is a huge force in my field of vision in front of me, yes, and there's trees on either side of me.
Yes.
I am going to essentially use the Pokemon move Razor Leaf and take out as many of these leaves and make them razor sharp and in like a cloud of daggers style.
Okay.
Straight at the entire force of
Here's what I'm going to have you do. That's a great idea.
Yes.
Beery, Tariel, you will still roll the 2d6s. Halloweth, you will give me a lore check with favor to try and use this as an attack. Tell me if you hit your target number.
I'm going to use a point for this as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I got a Gandalf.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm 1-6 and then 2, 4, 3, 3. Hang on. That's 30.
A 30.
Eat light,
Nice.
bitch.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Now.
If you want, I beat my target number by 18.
Yeah. Halloweth, I was going to give you, if you beat your target number, an extra d6 with a Gandalf. Please roll me 4 d6s.
Oh, nice.
So fucking
Beery.
Monway shows up.
Yeah. Beery
Yeah.
and Tariel, tell me what you roll as well on those 2 d6s.
I rolled a 9.
Okay.
12.
12. Okay. So that's 21.
18.
18. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, you people are.
Elite.
All right, that's a 5. That's a 1. None of you have to take into. I'm rolling like absolute crap today.
That's how orcs.
Can I
how orcs
volunteer
roll,
for a
man.
one-on-one session?
If you volunteer for a one-on-one, you will only be killing 1 orc, and Halloweth may have the opportunity.
No, hell no. I gotta
Okay.
keep
There it
up.
is. There it is.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Tanel, you're back up. And
All right.
because that number was so astronomically high, it's now 3d6s again. The momentum is gaining in your
Good.
favor.
Good. Come on.
What the hell?
16.
16.
Ooh.
You will each roll with an additional
Ooh.
d6
It
next
was
time. All right.
2 6s.
Okay.
I'm already getting ready.
I know. Hang on. I gotta roll. Because Tanel,
Huh?
you've cut the number of archers down by at least half. There are very few orcs firing up at you with their crossbows.
Mhm.
I am now going to roll to see if these orcs join. No, the commander's.
Yeah, there's only one
That's
thing for them to
right.
do. It's join or flee.
Tanel,
Mm-hmm.
the volley of arrows that you send all at once with you, with Ravandir, with Philaret, they were on the ground, with you and all of these other elves around you,
Mm-hmm.
decimate the orc archers. And the ones that remain quiver.
No pun intended.
Ah,
Yeah. Perfect.
The archers flee. Tanel,
Good.
you now have the ability to add your additional 2d6s to the remainder of this army. And Tariel, you will now notice that there are few enough orcs that have come streaming in the, let's say, hours that this battle has raged.
Mhm.
But their numbers are dwindling, and a lot of them have run. They were not expecting this kind of a force to appear. I will ask all 4 of you to now roll 3d6s.
Just for flavor, Tanel has her sword now. She's
Yeah.
just out of the woods with
Nice.
King's Shadow. Like,
Yes.
so good.
Also,
excellent.
after seeing the incredible display from Halueth, we still have a force coming onto us, correct?
You do.
Okay, good. Can Beery choose to do something different?
You certainly can. What would you like to do?
He's gonna drop his hammer, pull his shield out of the dirt, boom, pull the cork out of one of the bottles of explosive flammable,
This is one of the 2 flammable ones that
Mhm.
you used, yes.
and he's just going to drive his powerful little legs into the line to go set it down, and then take the other one and pour a line backtracking himself back. Can he do that?
Oh no. Oh,
Pretty much
so
making a
much.
bomb in the middle of
So much fire.
Okay, here's what we're going to do with this.
Oh
Beery?
my god.
I
He's not
don't
gonna be outdone by leaves.
I don't need you to hit your target number. I don't need you to hit your target number for this, but I need you to roll me an athletics check.
Oh, come on,
I
baby.
am now going to roll a d12 on a 5 or on a 5 or higher. The elves will be able to carve you a path right down the middle.
This is like reversed Helm's Deep
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
torch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Make
Okay.
me an athletics check. If you succeed in the athletics check, that
I'm,
it doesn't matter if you fail. Just let me know
I'm
what you hit.
spending a hope.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right. $26.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, Beery. Okay.
Just bulldozing his way through.
You know
Holy
what?
Crap.
With a 26, I'm going to lower the DC. It is now a 4 or higher. You get this path. And it's a 5.
Oh.
Elves. The elves carve this path of just, you have the idea, you mentioned it right before the battle. Sunk, 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 sunk. A straight line of orcs seems to go down at once. You charge with the shield, protecting yourself. I'm going to see if there's an attack of opportunity. If I roll a 6
Bring it.
here.
Yeah.
2, you do not, your armor deflects any and all of that stuff. You charge forward, place the fire down. And what are you doing now that you have made your way back to the front line of the elves?
Oh.
Make sure it doesn't get kicked away.
Well, so yeah, it's just kind of sitting face up, so it's among a bunch of feet, and he used the other one to kind of just pour a line back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I want him to stare straight at Halueth and then strike his flint and then drop it like explosions behind him.
Yes. Yes.
Incredible. On a 26 athletics as well. Beery, make a scan check for me.
A scan?
Oh.
Make a scan check for me.
Oh. I'm out of breath. Okay, here we go. Oof. Oof. Uh, 16. A lot of
Beery.
ones. What?
The liquid lights, and amidst the stamping feet and the clambering, this magical elixir does not go out, though dirt is covering it. And it is just as you turn back from looking snarkily at Halloweth that you notice there is a cart in the midst of these orcs. And oozing out of it is a black tar. Beery, please roll me 5d6s.
Oh my God.
22.
Oh,
22. Okay.
Oh no.
What did the rest of you roll?
wait, what
In
did
your-
the rest of us?
In your
Wait, we're all
your
supposed to roll?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
You're all
oh,
supposed to roll
earlier,
for the
earlier,
2d6s.
3d6. I
Okay,
rolled
so-
I rolled
a
11.
An 11, a 5.
13.
What'd you roll? 13.
But he's all out of flammable stuff.
Mhm.
So, the ground forces were the biggest of the armies. The archers in the trees had a value point of 100. The flank had a value point of 100. And if you knocked it down to half and you killed the commander, they would flee, and that has happened. The road had 200 total. And if it got down below a quarter, you would now have the opportunity to have them flee. You went from 72 to 21. The explosion that rocks the center of this orc army is decimating.
Yes.
Bodies everywhere.
Yes.
Orcs on fire, trying to put themselves out. The screams.
I'm
of the
imagining
orcs.
slow-mo cinematic shots of this.
Oh yeah. Oh
Cool,
yeah.
and you know, cool guys don't look at explosions.
Oh,
Exactly, you go and
absolutely
look
not.
So I got my.
For those listening on the podcast, Charlotte has gotten one of the filters in Zoom to get the cool guy glasses over her eyes, and it is brilliant.
I can't believe you had that like ready to go.
You had that holstered for sure.
I was in your back pocket for a while.
I just thought of it I thought of it like a minute ago. I thought of that. Cool
The no
guys don't look
looking.
at explosions song.
The no
and
look.
then-
Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
The explosion rocks the orc army. I am gonna see. I'll roll the d6. On a 6, you may take some fire damage, or it may affect some of the elves. That is a 2. Couldn't do any of the cool stuff I wanted to. Y'all. I'm gonna leave. No. This is how it was supposed to be.
It's the power of friendship.
Mhm.
There will be other. I'm
Right.
sure there will be other big battles. Like
Oh yeah.
So.
The 4 of you watch as moments after the explosion, the orcs that still have their wits about them run out of the forest. Or out of combat.
Bye, bitch.
Good.
And that
Bam.
Yes.
is where we are going to end
Yes.
tonight's episode
Woo!
of the Unpredicted.
Oh,
Finding.
wait.
Oh,
Barry,
oh,
what was
oh,
your
oh.
wait, final counts? So we're
Final
wondering-
counts?
I'm
Oh.
polishing down my bow.
Oh yes, yes.
Stalks
With the
over
magic.
Barry.
Zach, that was amazing. Okay.
Ah, I like your fireballs, sir. Hang on. Okay, let me add these up.
This is
I'm just going to use a
I
calculator.
love this so much.
This
I
is so
love
good.
this so
Hang
much.
Actually, I'm gonna grab my calculator just because I don't want to mess this up.
Mhm.
Yeah, likewise.
Are
That's
we go?
fair.
Is it just for this battle? Or are we going for like the whole sum?
I
here?
might, it's going to be. I mean, I at the moment the count is 6-1, so it's
And
Okay,
now you're
go
just
with it.
adding up the number of d6s that you have.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, including my fucking commander. So 1, which I think is enormous.
But
It's still just one.
Zach, it does still only count as one. But
That's 1.
in the way that Legolas took down the Oilifant, it was important. You know, it was
Mhm.
about to. It was about. Trust me, I had plans for this commander. If you didn't find him by a certain turn, it was gonna be bad.
jeez.
It was gonna be bad.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh,
I want to hear yours first.
My God.
75.
Oh, 84. 80.
I've been outdone by an elf.
Tauriel only had 57. God,
I wasn't
damn.
even counting.
I'm gonna recount just to make sure. 14.
Oh my god.
Even with the 1.
5, 16.
That's insane.
It was the Gandalf on the. It was the
Yeah.
Gandalf.
Yeah,
84.
80.
It,
It was all
it
the
was,
cool
it was
magic
the,
used it, like,
my final ones
magic
were
is amazing.
16, 18 for the magic, and then 13, which is 16, 18, 13. That's
Oh, beautiful.
God.
It's always the quiet ones, man.
Mm-hmm. It is.
he is deadly with this bow. I do
Silent but
also do-
deadly.
with my bow. I have 5 dots on my bow.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're pretty deadly with it. Ooh.
84. I gotta
That's
add. This, okay, hang on. Let me just. You got 75. you said?
75.
75. Okay,
So,
cool.
Beery, you're 75 with this battle. What does that bring your total number up to?
Oh, I didn't count. Oh, I didn't count the wargs and the orcs.
I can go back and find it. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
you had
Radagast.
a couple with Radagast, and then before
I think it was
with
like 2.
I'll go back and check. I'll go
Yeah.
back and check. We'll announce it at
Yeah.
the beginning of this one.
It's
Okay.
definitely
Yeah.
not 85.
Amazing. Amazing. Charlotte, everything okay? Do we need she doesn't have your phone.
Oh.
Are you good? Do we need to
Me?
everything okay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was just opening the door
left.
so my dog could
Oh,
leave. Sorry.
Okay,
Oh.
no worries. Okay. With all of that out of the way,
Woohoo!
and Beery firmly taking the lead, or excuse me, with Beery falling behind Halloweth's 85, or excuse me,
84.
Halloweth's 84 to Beery's 75. That is all for this episode of the
Oh,
Unpredicted Party. Thank you all so much for joining us. I think some of us may be here for after party. It will be probably a short one. We're all adults with working lives. So thank you all so much for joining. We'll see you at 2 weeks on 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow wherever you're listening or watching this. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.